Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
So today in this beautiful morning, we are going to start a very interesting topic which is concerned to us all because that is the topic around which the life revolves, or we can say that this is the life form which supports all other life forms. So can you guess what is that? Which life form supports us all?
Plants.
Very good, Yuvrat. This is plants. So how do you say that plants support us?
Giving us medicine.
Provide us oxygen.
Medicine and
Oxygen.
oxygen.
Very good. Plants provide us oxygen. Besides oxygen, it provides us with medicine, timber, and many other useful items, food, fodder. So plants are the basis of any living system. So today we are going to delve deeper into the plant kingdom, mesmerizing world of plant kingdom with David Ottenberg, which is a famous commentator, which makes commentary on the plant kingdom. So today we are going to have a virtual tour of Kew, England. We have already seen it in the previous chapter that Kew is the largest botanical garden, Kew, London. So let us delve deeper into that and see the Kew Gardens, beauty of the Kew Gardens. So here is a mesmerizing video of beautiful Kew Gardens for you. Just have a look.
I'm exploring the fascinating world of plants, from the most bizarre to the most beautiful. I will be using today's latest technology to reveal a whole new dimension in the lives of plants. I'll trace them from their beginnings on land to their vital place in nature today. We can move from our time scale to theirs. And we can watch all these dramas taking place in a way that is impossible in the wild in one unique institution. Outside in the gardens and inside these spectacular pavilions of glass. Join me, David Attenborough, at Kew and discover the kingdom of plants.
So how beautiful it was, isn't it? This is the mesmerizing world of plant
Yes, ma'am.
tried to capture in one single video. So this was very beautiful. So let me ask you, you have already done it in class 9, that what are the plants which allow us to see the beautiful flowers around? So which plant category to the plants belong which bear flowers?
Angiosperms.
Very good, Swanika. It is angiosperms. Very good. So you might have gone to hills and you might have seen cones hanging down from the trees. To which category of the plants do these plants belong to which bear cones?
Gymnosperms.
Gymnosperm.
Very good, Suryansh. So this is gymnosperms. And for the first time, xylem and phloem developed in these plants. Which category I am talking about? Vascular tissue developed for the first time in this category.
I'm pteridophytes.
Very good. They are the
Pteridophyta.
They are the plants which bear vascular tissue for the first time in the plant kingdom. There are plants which can live both on soil and water just like frog. So they are called amphibians of plant kingdom. Which category I would be talking of?
Bryophyta.
Bryophyta. Bryophyta.
Bryophyta. Very good. It seems so good. So it is bryophyta. And in rainy seasons, we see a thin layer of green, slimy layer around on the walls, on many things around us. So what, according to you, it could be?
Alga.
Algae.
Alga.
Alga, very good. So this is the entire classification of plant which you did in such a jiffy. So let us see how plants are being classified in this manner. You have already done the classification. So today we are going to do chapter 3, plant kingdom. The plant kingdom can be further divided into alga, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, and angiosperms. They are the flower-bearing plants. They are the plants which usually bears cones. They are the first vascular plants. They are the amphibians of plant kingdom. And these are the slimy green organisms. So let us see how this classification is being done. We have just seen the classification of plants. Let us dwell deeper into it. We have already done it in class 9. So plants which do not have a defined body come under thallophyta. So what do you mean by thallophyta? Thallus means flat. So thallus means flat and phyta means plants. These are the plants which are flat and they do not have a differentiated plant body. So they come under thallophyta, and thallophyta we call as alga. And if the plant is having a differentiated plant body, we can look for two other characteristics, whether the plant is without vascular tissue or with vascular tissue. So for the first time, what we had seen, vascular tissue develop in which category?
Pteridophytes.
It is pteridophytes. So these
Pteridophytes.
plants would be pteridophytes. And if it is without the vascular tissue, it is called bryophyta.
Bryophyta.
Very good, which is called amphibians of plant kingdom. Now comes another defining feature, that means whether the plants produce seed or they do not produce seed. If they produce seed, they are called phanerogames. Games means marriage. So when they produce seed, seed is an outcome of sexual reproduction, so the word phanerogames. If they bear naked seed, that means the seeds are not covered inside the ovary wall, then they are called gymnosperms. These are the plants which bear, we have just done, the plants which bear cones. Very good. So these are the gymnosperms, and which bear seeds are called angiosperms. They are the plants which are responsible, or which are, we are blessed to have these plants because they give us the beauty of flowers. Because they are the plants which produce flowers, only class where the plants produce flowers. These all do not produce flowers at all. Only plants which bear flowers are angiosperms. So they are the flower bearing plants. If their seed is having two cotyledons, can you give me example of a seed which bear two cotyledons?
All the pulses.
Pulses, very good. Gram, pea, all the pulses, they have two cotyledons because they look like this. When we open them, they can be divided into two parts. So this is called dicotyledons, or dicot in short. If they have only one cotyledon, as in maize grain, it cannot be split open. So this is called mono. Mono means one, cot means cotyledon. It is monocotyledon. So this is the outline classification of plant kingdom. Now we had seen interesting green slimy layer which occurs in rainy season. So this is alga. We would be covering alga in today's class. So alga are the chlorophyll bearing, simple, thalloid. Thalloid means thallus-like. So they are thalloid. They are largely aquatic organisms. They live in variety of habitats. You just name the habitat and they are found there, like stones, soil, wood, And this is very interesting to note that some of them also occur in association with fungi. We have seen lichens and even on animals like sloth bear. So I have a very interesting sloth bear example. Look at this animal. What do you feel when you look at this animal? आपको कैसा लगता है?
Green.
Green, very good. So why this sloth bear appears green? Because as you can see, it has alga growing in its fur and causing its coat to develop a green tint. Why it is developing a green tint? Look at the background. What should be the reason it is developing that green tint?
Ma'am, hide
camouflage.
from predators.
Very good. For camouflaging or to hide from predators. Very good. So it navigates through the treetops, and this is the sloth bear. This is the link where you can go and check the activity of the sloth.
Ma'am, isn't alga affect their skin?
No, it is only and only confined to their fur. So just a minute, let me share this sloth bear video with you. It's a very interesting video done by National Geographic team. So let us have a look at the laziest creature of the world, that is sloth bear, which bears this alga on its fur. So just see the video.
This is a three-toed sloth, a female, and she's ravenously hungry. It's the leaves she's after. However, in order to protect themselves, rainforest leaves are often tough, rubbery, and full of toxins. They're indigestible and lacking in energy. But that hasn't stopped the sloth. With large multi-chambered stomachs containing a unique mix of bacteria, they're able to deal with the tough leaves. But it's not a quick process. Sloths have the slowest digestion of any mammal. It can take them 2 weeks to process a single meal, and it's a hopelessly inefficient process. Sloths had two options. Either they had to eat more or do less. To do less. Their entire lifestyle is all about expending as little energy as possible.
So this was the sloth bear. Did you enjoy the video? Why do they?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Why are they laziest? Because you have just seen in the video. Why are they
Ma'am,
lazy?
because the digestion is very slow.
Very good, because the digestion is slow and that's why they have less energy and they are the laziest ones. Yeah. So the point is that the alga remains inside or on the body of many organisms or many animals. Similarly, another animal is hydra. Hydra viridisma. This is one species of hydra which bears chlorella alga in the endodermal epithelial cells, so they appear green in color. So let us see the general characteristics of alga. The general characteristics: form and size. They are highly variable. They can be microscopic like Chlamydomonas, colonial, big colony like volvox, filamentous like Eulothrix and Spirogyra. So the entire plant kingdom is full of examples, and the examples are very, very crucial part of the chapter, and they make you overwhelming because there is so great deal of examples. But don't bother about that. We have a trick to do all the examples that I'm going to share at the last. So this is the single-celled Chlamydomonas, which has a very interesting cup-shaped chloroplast. Look here. So they have variety of chloroplast, cup-shaped, spiral. So this is having cup-shaped chloroplast, single-celled alga. This is Eulothrix. As you can see, this is a filament. So thread-like filament is there. So this is a filamentous alga. Coming on to Spirogyra, again filamentous, and you see it has a ribbon-shaped chloroplast. So they have variety of chloroplast with them. Volvox, interesting, very interesting. It's a colonial alga. They make large colonies. So this is a diagrammatic representation of Volvox. This is a single Volvox, looks like Chlamydomonas more or less, but Chlamydomonas remains solitary or in isolation, but this forms large colonies like this. You can see the individual plant cell, the mother colony, daughter colony. So this is a big colony. So they are social, big colony, Volvox. Now they can range even up to forest. These are the forest, not the regular forest. These are the algal forests. Deep down in the sea, these are called kelp forests. They are kilometers, many kilometers in length. So coming on to the other features of alga. Alga reproduction is by vegetative, asexual or sexual means. Coming on to vegetative reproduction by fragmentation, and each fragment develops the thallus. The second type of reproduction is asexual, that is by spores, and the common spores being zoospores. Zoo, as I told, in animals, zoo means animal, spore means spores. So spores which are locomotory, which have the locomotory organs like animals, or which show locomotion, are called zoospores because they have flagella and they are motile. That's why the name zoospores. Sexual reproduction is by gametes, and gametes, they may be similar in size as in Eulothrix. They may be non-flagellated, non-motile, but similar in size as in Spirogyra. So when they are similar in size, similar means iso, same. These we are talking about gametes. So these are gametes, means same gametes, isogamous, when the gametes are of same size. Dissimilar size, dissimilar, aniso. Aniso means dissimilar. Again, the gamous means gamete. So they have dissimilar gametes. Eudronia. Then fusion between the two gametes leads to, sometimes there is one very large and one smaller gamete. In this case, it is called oogamous, as in case of Volvox and Fucus. So these are three types of gametes. What are the three types? Three types of gametes. What three types of gametes could be found?
Isogamous, anisogamous, and oogamous.
Iso, aniso, and oogamous. Very good. So coming on to alga are very, though we see alga and we don't like alga too much, but when you look at the benefits which alga can provide, you will be amazed to see there are brown alga, there are red alga which produce hydrocolloids, that means water holding substances. It produces algin, carrageen, which are used commercially in making your favorite ice creams and jellies. They are the thickeners. So agar is one such thickener which is used in making jellies and ice cream, and it is also used in microbial preparations because it acts as a nutrition when we prepare microbes or when we culture microbes in labs. So they serve as a nutrient media. So these are few useful products given by alga. So water holding, if you want to ship any plant, there is a danger of desiccation or drying up. So when you cover it with the hydrocolloids or cover it with some algal sheets, then they remain hydrated. So chlorella is one such alga which is unicellular, which is rich in protein and used by space travelers as food supplement. You might have seen space supplements, space travelers, they can't eat food because of the gravity. So they take those supplements with them which are highly packed with nutrients. So chlorella is one such nutrient packed alga which is used by space travelers as food, right? Many nutrition agencies like biotech agencies which make food supplements are making use of chlorella in making supplements. Now the alga is divided into three main classes: chlorophyceae, phaeophyceae, and rhodophyceae. Let us take a quick look of chlorophyceae, phaeophyceae, and rhodophyceae. What is the basis? So can anyone read out what is the basis of classification of alga into classes? What are the features on the basis of which we are classifying the alga? Anybody kindly read out from the screen? It is
Major
pigments. Very good.
food,
Yeah,
Cell wall,
cell wall,
very good.
flagellal number and position of insertions,
And fifth
And
is
habitat.
and habitat.
So there is a comparative view of what three classes of alga have different from each other. So in chlorophyceae, if you look at pigment, their main pigment is chlorophyll A and B, whereas in phaeophyceae it is A and C. Chlorophyceae is the green alga, phaeophyceae is the brown alga. So chlorophyll A and C impart them green color, but this fucoxanthin, this is more powerful than the chlorophyll, and it imparts brown color which masks the underlying green color, and the alga appears brown. That's why it is called brown alga. So the rhodophyceae, they have chlorophyll A and D as green pigment, but phycoerythrin, which is a red pigment, and it dominates this, and the alga appears red. Coming on to stored food, it is starch in chlorophyceae, a different form of starch that is called mannitol or laminarian starch in phaeophyceae. This is also form of starch. And in rhodophyceae, it is Floridian starch. So different forms of starch are being stored in these different classes of algae. Coming on to cell wall, the chemical composition of cell wall varies. Like in chlorophyceae, the cell wall is made up of cellulose. In phaeophyceae, it is cellulose plus algin. And this is responsible for those hydrocolloids which we just saw. Water holding capacity देता है ये. तो अगर आप इसको किसी के अराउंड भी रैप कर देते हैं तो वो चीज सूखती नहीं है. Then rhodophyceae, it is cellulose along with pectin and polysulfate esters. So alga are a good source of chemicals. So industries are making use of alga to extract various chemicals like polysulfate esters, which are used in cosmetics. Now coming on to flagella. Flagella, number and position of insertion. So where is this flagella? This flagella is either on the gametes or on the algae itself. So if there are 2 to 8 equal apical flagella in chlorophyceae, if I draw it like this, they are like this. Apical means arising from the top, and they are similar in size, equal, apical. 2 unequal, lateral. If I draw it like this, unequal and lateral, and absent, there are no flagella at all. So this was about chlorophyceae, rhodophyceae, and phaeophyceae. Volvox colony is an example of chlorophyceae. Similarly, Eulothrix is also one example of chlorophyceae. Coming on to brown alga, you look at the shape of brown alga. This brown alga is little bit more differentiated than the green alga. What difference can you see? I'm just showing you the picture again of Eulothrix and the picture of this is chlorophyceae, and the picture of this brown alga. What difference
Branched.
you see? Yeah, they are branched. Very good. What else? Are all are branched or
Some
few are
brown in
branched?
color.
Are they all branched or few are branched? Look at it again.
Some few are branched.
Few are branched. Yeah. Then
Some brown
they are
in color.
brown in color. Very good. And anything else? Can you see the body? Shape, or we can say more differentiated. What kind
Like
of
insular
differentiation?
and colonial.
Yeah, they may be colonial. Very good. So hold fast, stipe, frond. Aren't they look like something belonging to higher plants? कुछ similarity है?
Yes, ma'am.
Hold fast is similar to? Similar to?
Roots.
Very good. Root. Stipe is similar to?
Stem.
Stem. And the fronds are similar to?
Leaves.
Leaves. But why don't we call them as root, stem and leaves? Because their internal structure, that is their anatomy, is not like a true root, stem or a leaf. अंदर से नहीं होते हैं ये ऐसे. So this is brown alga. Coming on to red alga. The red alga, there are examples like porphyra, polysiphonia. These are the examples of red alga. Now the question arises, what happens in NEET and many other competitive examination? They don't give you direct questions on the alga or the names of alga. Rather, they ask you the characteristic feature of the class of alga to which polysiphonia belongs, or to which the volvox belongs, or this is the characteristic of the class to which volvox belongs. So it becomes very difficult to recall. It is very simple to recall the characteristic features of a particular class of alga. Like if I ask you chlorophyceae, what are they called as? What are they called as? Green alga, brown alga, or red alga?
Green alga.
Green alga. So
Green
this is
alga.
simple.
Green algae.
If I somehow ask you the other way round, what is the common name given to the class of alga to which volvox belongs or Chlamydomonas belongs? Isn't it adding to the difficulty?
Yes, ma'am.
Because then you need to know two things, the characteristic feature of the class and second, the example. And there are many, many examples of the class alga. So that fascinates or that overwhelms a student, but you don't get bothered about it. I have something for you that will make learning examples for you all as far as this chapter or the examples of alga is concerned. So I have a trick which is popularly known as mnemonics. What is a mnemonic? Anybody can anybody tell me what is a mnemonic?
Ma'am, it's a rhythm which we can relate.
It's a rhythm, or we can say it's a short form to which we associate some meaning to. That is called a mnemonic. So, three classes we have seen. Alga की हमने तीन classes देखी. Can anyone name that? Those three classes? What were those three classes of alga? Yeah. So it takes a while in revising those three classes. These days, which we are quite aware of the term RT-PCR because we are living in the pandemic era. RT-PCR is one common test which is used by all to detect or diagnose corona infection. So this term you are quite aware of. So here is a trick. You can remember the classes of alga with the help of PCR. P stands for what do P stands for here? Phaeophyceae. What is C stands for?
Chlorophyceae.
Chlorophyceae. And the R stands for?
Rhodophyceae.
Rhodophyceae. This is as simple in a click. PCR. Phaeophyceae, chlorophyceae, rhodophyceae. Repeat with me. Phaeophyceae, chlorophyceae, and rhodophyceae. Very good. Just repeat the names once again. Phaeophyceae,
Theophyceae.
chlorophyceae,
Chlorophyceae.
and rhodophyceae.
Rhodophyceae.
That's brilliant. Brilliant. So now let us see what all examples come under the phaeophyceae. That is the main thing which is being asked in most of the examination. So here is a trick. Again, there are many mnemonics which will make this chapter simple for you and very interesting to remember also. So this is Phaeophyce, we would remember it with the word self-defense. Chlorophyce, there is a simple trick. We can say US has very clean colleges. And rhodophyce, when you were in your childhood, you might have seen this program on TV, Pogo. This was a channel very famous with kids.
Yes, ma'am.
So Pogo, there was one program very famous on Pogo, that is Gully Gully Sim Sim. There was one program, Gully Gully Sim Sim, on Pogo, which was quite popular with kids of your age, when you were in that age. So it is for rhodophyce, we would use Pogo par Gully Gully Sim Sim dekho. Let's see how it relates with the examples. Self-defense. S stands for sargassum. E stands for, what is the name?
Ectocarpus.
Ectocarpus. L stands for laminaria. F stands for fucus. And D stands for dictyota. So that's all. It is, you are done for the Phaeophyce. Laminaria, sargassum, ectocarpus, dictyota, and fucus. These are the examples of Phaeophyce. What are the examples? Self-defense, right? Coming on to the next class, that is chlorophyce. What is the mnemonic for chlorophyce?
US has very clean colleges.
US has very clean colleges. So let us see. U stands for Ulothrix. S stands for Spirogyra. V stands for Volvox. C stands for Cara. And the other C stands for Chlamydomonas. And here you go for Phaeophyce. Sorry, that is the chlorophyce. Yeah. So this is chlorophyce. Coming on to the last class, that is rhodophyce, and a very, very interesting mnemonic for it, that is Pogo par Gully Gully Sim Sim dekho. So what is Pogo? P stands for Polysiphonia, P stands for Porphyra, G stands for Gelidium, G for Gracilaria, and D, that's it. Sim Sim dekho, hum program nahi dekh rahe. So this is the time to study. We don't have time to watch television. So omit this program, isn't it? Has it become easier for you to remember the names?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So what are the three classes of Algae in terms of mnemonic? What is
PCR.
this? PCR.
PCR.
Phaeophyce, chlorophyce, rhodophyce. In Phaeophyce, self-defense. S stands for sargassum, E for ectocarpus, L for laminaria, F for fucus. Chlorophyce, US has clean colleges, and as you can see, the U stands for Ulothrix. The U stands for Ulothrix. Just a minute. U stands for Ulothrix, S for Spirogyra, V for Volvox, C for Cara, and C for Chlamydomonas. So that's it. This is the classification of Algae. Let us have a quick knowledge check. Answer this question. Which of the following is a colonial alga? Let me ask from somebody. Which is the colonial alga? Yuvraj, can you please tell me which is the colonial alga? Let me just share it with you again. Colonial alga. So do one by one. Ulothrix, Spirogyra, Chlorella. हम काटते चलते हैं. Ulothrix कैसा था? How does Ulothrix looked? It was filamentous. How was Spirogyra looking?
Ma'am,
Filamentous. And
Volvo.
this was having, if you remember, this was having the colony.
ma'am,
So,
colonial group.
yeah. So what would be the answer?
Volvo.
Volvo.
Volvo. So sometimes we can take out the odd one, right? Sometimes we even don't know the answer, but still in MCQ we can take out by cancelling the other choices. So these three choices, we know that we cannot go for it. So the remaining is Volvox. Now, mannitol is used for reserve food in
Fucus.
Yeah, very good. It is fucus. So fucus has this mannitol as reserve food. Very good. What is the shape of chloroplast in Chlamydomonas?
Cup shape. Cup shape.
Very
Ma'am,
good.
cup shape.
Cup shaped. Very good. So thank you so much. This brings us to the culmination of the topic, which is Alga. So I hope you all have understood the concept, and the mnemonics will help you out in remembering all those names and linking them to the particular class of the Alga and solving all your questions very quickly. That's all for today. Thank you so much for joining. Revise your chapter, and we will then continue with the next class of Plant Kingdom. What would be that after Alga? What class should come? Bryophytes. Because
Bryophyte.
alga were living in the moist environment or water, the plants bryophyte, we are moving ahead in the evolutionary scale. So the bryophytes would be able to live in water as well as land. That's why they are known as
Amphibians of the plant
very
kingdom.
good amphibians of the plant kingdom. So come prepared, give a just have a quick revision of the topic which we have done today, and come prepared with a quick reading of the chapter that is Bryophyta, which we are going to do tomorrow. Thank you for joining and have a good day.